Can you hear it? Can you hear it?
I can hear it. Why is this the song? Oh, don't you forget about me. Oh,
You see? See, I'm very thoughtful. I'm really
I could
thoughtful.
never,
So the heck with
never.
everyone who gives me a hard time about being a jerk. I'm not always a jerk.
You're
People
wrong.
love me. People love me.
Are you talking to the mirror again?
I'm smart enough. I'm good enough.
That's right. And darn it, people love me.
Honestly, Stuart Smalley needs to make a resurgence. We need him
That's
back
okay.
in our lives. That's okay.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome. I am coming to you live. Actually, technically from Marietta, Georgia,
Marietta.
right outside of Atlanta, where I am at the Evolve conference, which is going on right now. And I stepped out to uh, uh, be here, obviously. And there's all kinds of like lovely people who would normally be watching our show who are in that room right now. And so they all have been telling me how sorry they are that they can't jump on because Anna Morgan will probably kill me for having all of them go on to their phones while she's trying to run a conference. So,
Right. Right. None of that. None of that.
right. Um, we have lots of friends, honestly, here at Evolve, and it's fun. I mean, so many came up to me this morning like, hey, I'm sorry, I can't jump on, but I watch all the time, and like, love that. Love that.
Can you tell the people next to you that we're having a show and they need to be quiet? They don't know.
Yeah, yeah, it's like it's always that way though, like staring right at me, seeing that I'm doing this, and then going to do this. Yeah.
Tell me about the conference. Do you have any swag report? Because
Oh, I left the bag in the room, but there's like these great notebooks sponsored by Humoriso, and there's these there's mouse pads, and there are I saw a book in there, someone's book. I haven't gone through it all yet. I just grabbed the bag and ran into the room. So I know Jamie's yelling at me. I
it's
didn't
always we're
bring it
supposed to.
out here.
Anytime we're
I
at a
know.
conference, we have to
I
do a swag
know.
report.
It is crazy. It's crazy. But that the there's also some sponsors with some swag that's out here as well. Happy Dance is here. Brian and Dave Ralph, our friends, are here. We have Team Taylor is here with some swagalicious stuff
I
as
need some.
well.
I need some from them because they cause me stress, and all my LLCs through Team Taylor.
Why?
All of it went through because just clicking on the buttons. It's not them personally.
Oh, I was like,
So
what they do? I will
I
tell
have a
them right
T-shirt.
now. I will tell them right now. What is your problem?
Yeah.
Um, I know I can't. Uh, hey, we are live on a podcast over here. I'm so sorry, and they hear everything you're saying. In case there's anything personal you're saying, I just want you to know, everybody on LinkedIn. I'm so
Oh my God.
sorry. I, I'm not asking you to leave. I just don't know if there's anything personal you're sharing that they hear. They're telling me.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
they're doing social security numbers, so everybody listen up.
That was a master class in telling somebody to be quiet. That
Y-
was
Yes,
awesome.
yes.
Good.
Um, so so anyway, those sponsors are here. Mavi is here, and they are sponsoring the Wi-Fi and doing some other stuff as well. So it's a palooza here. This is the first Evolve conference. Oh, I do have my name tag. This is the first Evolve conference, and Anna Morgan has put this together again. Evolve, and uh,
Do that
Uh,
again.
I know how the screen. It's Jamie. It's got to be Jamie. It's not doing this itself. There's no way
It can't.
it's doing
There is
itself.
absolutely no way that it
There's
is
no way.
intuitive
There's
at all.
no way.
None.
But anyway, so and it's really fun. Anna is super excited about this morning's conference. It is also concurrently her 50th birthday today. And so if you all know Anna Morgan, make sure you jump on and wish her a happy 50th birthday today as well.
Oh,
So it's a good
happy
time.
birthday.
Yes, yes.
That's great.
Um, I absolutely pissed off these two women, so that's okay.
You took the girlfriend with you.
I 100% did. But I mean, that's what I'm hearing is that everybody can hear them. I wanted them to know in case they were saying I hate my effing job and I work at, Verizon, and we have everyone at Verizon that normally watches our show. That could have been a
You know
career
what? You're
killer.
right.
Career
One
killer.
time, one time, literally, like I was in like a breakfast shop before I went to a meeting, and I was sitting by myself, and there was a couple, and they were talking about the PTA and like this fundraiser and blah 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 blah. So I called my girlfriend. I was like, "Do you know such and such and such and such?" And they were like, "Yeah." I was like,
Mhm.
"Well, you better watch out for that PTA because let me tell you what's going on." Like these people don't even know
Yeah.
how much you
Yeah.
can overhear, and you don't know. Like you
You
said,
don't know. You don't honestly, you don't know. And I don't want to, I don't one of the people has their own business. If you're going to be snarky, I don't know that I'm going to refer business to you. I just want you to know
that
you
part.
got to be thoughtful. You got to be thoughtful.
Well, as someone who is jobless,
Right?
I'm just
Right?
going there. So everybody is, they don't have to fuck around to find out. They're finding out.
And look, when you're at places like this, look, I understand. We are not like I'm not the most important person here. 100%. We're all just trying to find corners to do our thing. I get it. I get it. That's how it is. It's what we do.
Right.
But we do need to Dave Ralph is here. Yeah, we're on Buffers Coffee.
Oh,
I
I
can't
love
hear you, darling. But
You
great to
can't
see
hear
you. Great to see you, darling. I hope you're well.
him. I'm coming in soon. See, we've got all
I love
celebrities
him
walking
so
by
much.
live at Evolve. Yes, I texted him the other day and large forehead as a joke, and now he won't let it go. He had to like ask his spouse, "Do I have a large forehead?" Like I do these things to people, and now they're tortured.
Yeah, exactly. Not nice. Not nice.
Not
So I have
nice
a
at
question
all.
about the conference. Like, I want to
Yes,
know what is the whole premise behind? I mean, I'm
yeah,
with all love you. I think it's great.
yep.
All of these, like, oh, we're evolving, we're disrupting, like what, so like, what is this? What are we doing?
What is this? What's happening here? This very very will and grace of you. Um, the the honestly the premise is well-being, I would say, ultimately, but well-being for the practitioner, for the TA and HR
Mm,
practitioner. What are we doing to take care of you, and what are the things to be thoughtful of as you take care of you, and how that bleeds out into how you take care of teams, your
got
your
it.
your reports, or your departments if you have those responsibilities. So there's definitely, I would say, it leans a little more towards TA than full breadth HR as far as who's here.
Right,
But that's the premise, is like so many of us in these roles, it's output oriented. Give, 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 give. What's
right.
happening for your own investment? And so um, I get to speak later today about mental health and well-being for the individual, and walk through coping mechanisms, individual
Oh,
application of some coping mechanisms that people can activate tomorrow.
I love
Um,
that.
yeah, yeah. So it'll be fun. My goal is at least 30% of the attendees to be in tears at some point while I'm sharing. So
Good.
you all could say a prayer. That's my hope
I'll
for
pray that
impact
everybody
today.
finds it a very
Lots
soothing
of
moment.
tears, lots of tears. Oh, look at this. The happy dance. Dave Ralph coming over with a present for
That's
you.
now y'all know why I don't have any of the mugs.
No, he just said it goes to you. I mean, let's be clear. He's pissed at
Lies,
me because I said he has a big
lies.
forehead. So the
He's kissing up to you.
no, he's kissing up to you
By the
by
way, I have
making.
some Very big news.
You're pregnant.
That would be very big news. Huge news.
I almost fell off the side.
So, I don't know if I'm allowed to tell this. So it's just us, right? Just our friends.
Yes. Say all the things.
Well, I did get asked about LinkedIn Learning
Ah.
to do a class, and I had to do a full audition and a background, and I sent it all in, and I got approved to be a future LinkedIn instructor. And so we're going to be talking about what topics and stuff like that. I mean, they are like a full production, so it goes into like 2026. But I was like,
Hey,
right?
That's huge.
It
Good
was like
job.
people who don't know me don't know. Like I always told like LinkedIn, like I'm a fan of LinkedIn. I'm a fan.
Yep.
Total fangirl with branding, just like the Hallmark channel, where it's like, I feel like it's the same, like all of those things. I know. So, but I'm excited about that. I've had lots of phone calls. I know a lot of people have been asking, like, how are things going since I left Textio, and I've been just as busy. I'm coming up with a new little show, and I'm talking about like what's going to happen next. I don't know what's going to happen next, but I'm going to like make the most of these opportunities, have more conversations, and start doing lots of things. And so I'm really excited. I'm excited.
You should be. You know, it's an interesting lesson in, right? We're talking about taking care of our own today. You shared that last week that you were transitioning out of your last role and into not sure what's next, not sure what's next, right? And there's a lot of support that is required when one of our own is vulnerable. And I do want to make sure I say this: you were very vulnerable with our millions of fans to be able to share something like this, because let's be honest, it's the interwebs. This thing could go to people that, quite frankly, might be wishing you ill. They're glad to see that you're in transition, because we have some haters in this world that are not here for our success and our encouragement. And so material like this can be a reason that we even feel heavier about those that do wish us ill, having something that they can use against us. And so needing to be much more intentional to say, how can I be thoughtful about Jackye and what could be next for her, right?
I'm sure of it. It was so funny to me because someone goes, oh, did you know that there's like a Slack channel for people who used to work at Textio? And I was like, oh, I won't be invited because I'm like an executive of the team. Thanks for letting me.
Right.
That just makes me think a lot. I guarantee they don't want me to be there, and that's okay, right?
This man, how did this man get allowed into this room? I thought we blocked him from this show.
No. But let me tell you something. I do like going on to what you were saying. One of the greatest moments, Craig Fisher reached out. We're really good friends, and
let's see, mine doesn't do it.
Was like, hey, like, do you have your LLC? I was like, yeah. And he was like, make sure you register with the Small Business Administration, like the Texas hub, because he's up the street. And he's like, you should do this, and this. And I was like, oh, and he was like, you need to file this, you got to do this. And I was like, are you helping me right now? I was like, he goes, but this was the kicker. He said, one of them that he said, and you recognize this, he goes, it would be great if we partner. He goes, one of the things that can get really lonely when you're doing it by yourself. And he goes, and the other thing is just knowing how to position yourself. I'll invite you on to some sales calls and you can see how I do it. I was like, you're going to invite me, a random person, like, hi, this is my friend Jackye, and she's going to be on the call with us today. And he was like,
yes.
And
now, have you seen him do sales mode? Here comes your adoring fans. Here they all come. Watch the cord. Don't want you to trip. Here come all of your adoring fans. I have to take it off of. Look at all these folks.
I can't
Adam's
believe
here.
it.
Look, Michael.
Vanessa.
Oh my gosh,
Oh my
Vanessa's here. Look at
God.
all the fun. Look at all the love. Look at all the love.
That is so great.
I
Love
know.
her.
I know.
Oh, look at this guy.
She
He's got all this
is.
stuff.
Look at Adam. By the way,
miss
is
you.
is very unhappy. So
Sorry about
anybody
that.
who's looking to help give some love to somebody, please at Adam. He just needs some hugs, kisses. Send him all of the things. Thank you, Michael. Look at that. See what you have to do. A lot of petting in HR. We really heavy petting. Yes.
Don't forget the Tim Sackett, like there's no hugs. Don't
Oh,
hug.
that's right. The Tim Sackett hugs are what she's asking to happen as well. Vanessa's here as well. Oh my gosh. So
Look
we've got a
at that.
whole bunch of people that are here and
Oh.
joining us.
Yeah, what's our
Jackye, I know we were in the other room. Jackye just got picked up by LinkedIn Learning. So
No, she didn't. Did she really?
Not
Yeah,
a
yeah.
full-time job. Don't confuse them. Don't
Yeah.
confuse them.
Why?
She's just an instructor. It's not a full-time job. It's
It's not a full-time job. She's just an instructor, but whatever.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm
All I do is instruct people. on how to do it. Oh my God, I'm not that big. That's what I did. But
We need to do this with live audiences. We should go on a tour and do this with live audiences. Honestly, like
We
a
should do
12
this
city
on tour. That's
12
right.
city tour. Love you guys.
Hey.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
That's right. That is so funny. Listen, I love the way that they parallel parked into that tiny space.
I mean, right? And the one of the young ladies that is outside the window here. I think she's giving me the death stare on the other side. So, and now to see like people coming over, it's like.
I will tell you, listen, I was like very
Let me tell you something.
I know.
Because Dion is correct. Now, I'd like you to put your left hand out in front of you, please. Straight out, Jackye. And then, no, straight out. And then take your right hand, and I need you to slap the top of that hand.
Oh, for you. I would do
No,
that.
for Dion. Dion is
Dion.
correcting
Thank
you,
you.
and Dion
Yes.
is correct in
you.
correcting you. Thank you, Dion.
I will tell you, the thing that was really interesting, especially if you've been in this career and you've been in the people space for a long time, you know that you form these relationships with people. And let me tell you, like I wanted to use the example. I know people were looking, and I knew I was part of a lot cohort, and I spent like my last day at Texia really comforting other people. Like, you're going to be fine. Everything is going to be fine. This is
Yep.
not a reflection of the DEI efforts. Like, this is what's going to happen. Like, understand whatever, just trying to show all the comfort. But I also wanted to show an example on how you leave a job, like
Yep.
how you put those things in LinkedIn. Because one of the things that I noticed was that so many people post, "Hi, I got laid off. If you know anybody that's hiring, let me know." And you're like, I don't know what you do. Like, I knew you had a job, but now you don't
Right.
have a job. I don't know
Right.
where you want to work. Like, are you looking for a job right away? You know, and people genuinely want to help.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And so that's why I wanted to show, like, tell people how they could help. Like, even if it's just some kind words, like, I'm not taking phone calls right now. I wanted to let people know on you know, all of those various things. Like, that's what's happening. But I needed
Yeah.
to make sure that people knew that I was looking for a job. Like, that's why it was like, I'm not open for people picking my brain right now, because I can't do any work that isn't going to be paying. I have to make sure and spend the efforts on the things that I see and how I want to build.
And that is reasonable to do that boundary. Honestly, like, it's not mean, it's reasonable. First of all, anybody who thinks it takes 5 minutes to create those OnlyFans videos have never done it. It takes a while.
You're right.
For real.
All the
it takes-
editing I got to do. All the AI I got to implement.
the AI. Your foot has 7 toes on it. Is that correct? I don't think so. AI screwed up again.
Right.
I love, Stephen, I'm so glad you're here today. I love that Steven's asking because of this background if we were
Right.
all in a car park. I mean, it
Totally
kind of
looks like
does look like it. I didn't even think about that. It totally looks like it. That's hilarious.
or a bathroom, but
Well, look, first of all, it would not be my first time filming in a bathroom, but that's another episode. The
Other OnlyFans.
oh no, pre OnlyFans, like camcorder. The
Oh Lord have mercy.
this is why the one thing, obviously, I mean, if this show doesn't do anything, it ought to remind you that laughter has to be part of this. And I'm such an advocate in the caring for one another that laughter has to be baked in somehow. This is how we take care of one another. Because quite honestly, there's plenty to cry about. There's plenty to cry about.
There's plenty. And, like, I know Nicole, like, I'm hoping I can partner with Nicole. Nicole is like going independent and they're doing these things. And I was like, there's a lot of people and resources of where we could be like a full fractional team. And there's lots of organizations that are struggling, but they can't keep full time, but they
That's
do
right.
need full-time help because they do need to figure out how to retain what they can do for the people that are there and what they can do. So
100%.
the other thing that I'm building, by the way, and this is so me, I want to give as much. I've always wanted to give as much as possible. Like I've always given
Me, I'm a giver. It's what I do. I'm a giver.
What I do, I'm a giver. So for a long time, I've asked people to do a show with me called Hot Dog, Not Hot Dog. So plus, like, I don't have
I've
any.
done that show. It's somewhere on the internet. 1994. Don't look it up. I was young. I needed the money.
You were young. Full head of hair. You won't recognize him. So
You won't.
Hot Dog, Not Hot Dog. Silicon Valley was a show on HBO, and people who
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
worked for startups for a long time. So they were coming out with a product called Seafood, and a company gave them millions of dollars so that they could scan in seafood.
Right.
And they scanned the hot dog, and he says the app says it's a hot dog, and they go, "Oh my God, this is amazing! Do pizza." And they scan the pizza, and it says not hot dog, and he says, "What? Is that all it can do?" He goes, all it can do is hot dog. And it goes, no, it also does not hot dog. And they were like, what about all the other foods? And he goes, are you crazy? I would have to research every single food and put it in the system. And so I've always wanted to do a show about something that is AI and what's not AI. And there's so many tools. And there's a lot of people who started following us for But First Coffee, but those of you who are old school that have known me for a really long time know that I used to be an editor for recruiting tools. And my job for so long was to write every single day about technology. And I just loved it. And so I've been using time to try to tap into the things I like. I've been cleaning spaces and saying, why do I have all of these like colored pencils? And my husband was like, you used to color? I'm like, I did? Like, when was that? I like
Yes.
So trying
Isn't
to
that funny?
the things that I like. Like, I'm like, what are
it's fascinating. And this is why I think one of the things that I'll always recommend in terms of self-care is some form of journaling, some form. I know some people don't like to write. I get you. Then do a video journal. So something where, because I think to that your exact point, there's something really valuable at times in looking back. So I'll pick up a journal from 15 years ago just to remind myself of where I was, what seemed so insurmountable.
That's right.
And see how far things have progressed and how prayers were answered, how circumstances came together in a way that I just couldn't figure out. It seemed like it was so life or death, and I'm on the other side. But it's funny, even in the small things that I'm mentioning that I was interested in, or things that I was spending time doing, and it's 15 years later, I'm like, why did I stop? Like, to your point, why did I stop using colored pencils, and why did I stop painting, or why did I stop? What happened, right? Where did that go? Oh my gosh. Product placement, Jamie, there's your journal, everyone.
I get 50% of the But First Coffee. Help a sister out.
50%.
My quota. I want my quota.
Yes, yes, and oh my gosh, Lorianne, thank you. The not everyone is a writer. I get that,
Right.
but I would also say, what's your expectation of writing? Some people think if I'm supposed to journal, I have to write 15 paragraphs a day. Oh my gosh,
That's right.
there are some days I write 2 sentences. That's just all that I'm
I'm bad
journaling
at it.
today.
Part of what I started doing, the other thing, I was going to do, I was doing this before I left Textio, but I've been working on a planner journal for people that have ADHD, and I'm sure it'll be on the
What
human.
a good idea.
I started
Yes,
researching. I started
just
pulling
put me
off.
on the cover. Put me on
I'll
the
put
cover.
you.
Yeah.
I'll put you under the covers. Oh, oh, oh. No bueno. No bueno.
I'll lay on a table for
You're gonna
you.
do that? Can you? Yeah, a carpet. Can you do it a rug? They were going
Oh,
completely
I'll
off.
do like the Costanza, like on the rug, leaning my back.
Listen, listen. You have a problem.
I have big problems. I have big problems.
Like, but can I just tell one? This week, I think it was really funny. So I was like telling John, I was like, "Hey, I want to talk to you because I was talking to somebody and I don't want there to be a conflict of interest." John like texted, is waiting all day, and then he's all done. He was like, "Jackie, if you need to take care of whatever you need to." I was like, "No, not me, you freak. You is there? You a conflict? Oh no." I was like, "Okay, you're so funny."
I am, first of all, Nicole, I'm so sorry that I'm having you picture me in the Costanza pose. That's actually damaging. So I apologize for that in advance. But I love some of these comments, by the way, and please keep them coming. This idea of being able to um, uh, embrace feedback in context. Oh, Jackie's frozen. Let's see if the internet comes back. It's raining, by the way, for those of you. It's raining in Waco, and that typically means the Wi-Fi goes down. I know we still have parts of the world that are like that. When it's raining in Waco, the Wi-Fi service tends to be on the fritz. But what I was saying was, even in feedback, even if I don't respect the person that is sharing, even if I don't, and genuinely I mean this, I don't have context for the person why they feel the need to tell me the things that I should be doing in my life. I don't know them. I still listen to the feedback. I still listen to what they say. Where did this impression come from? Is there something I have done to create an impression that doesn't, really speak to whatever is true in terms of my reputation, might be true in terms of the work that I do. I've had people say things to me that are not true about my kids. Yeah, I've had people reach out and tell me why it's a problem that my son works at my company. I mean, like, they think they're being well meaning, but you have to take all of that in context and not let it step in and steal your joy. I am all about being open to listen, but that doesn't mean that I have to absorb everything that's offered to me, right? At all, because I don't always know the context. Are you back with us? Are you here? No, she's gone. Um, this I would say is, look at this, Dr. V. Listen, or just listen. Dr. V, hopefully I'm doing you justice with the facial expressions, right? Because that's the truth. Like, either I'm gonna listen to the people that I know that are invested in me, that love me, that care about me, that are for my well-being, even when they have to say tough things. Um, what I am not going to do is ignore people who have an opinion, but I'm not going to let it penetrate too deeply, right, into me or my perspective um, of how I'm going to live. I mean, when you call me and want to tell me that it might not be a great idea to have my child work at my company, and I take that back. When you email me to tell me, because you don't know me well enough to have called me, that's point number one. But to say it may not be a great idea could damage your relationship with your son. First of all, I get generally what you mean, but specifically, you don't know me and Frank. This job is not going to get in the way of our relationship. We're best buddies till the day one of us goes, right? So that this role is not going to do it. But someone who's on the outside may not know that, right? They may not know that and just be assumptive about experiences they've had where working with family didn't go well. So I can appreciate that. Look, Mandy, thank you so much. Yes, 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 right? Like this whole thing is, and we get torn up about it. We have a hard time taking care of ourselves because it's really our own doing that we're letting too much static into our brains. Way too much static into our brains. And that static is something that we have to start putting a gate in. Not everybody gets through the gate. Not every comment gets through. We have to start protecting a bit because it's not fair to you to let this much static come in. Hey, girl, are you here? I see you. I see you. Okay, good. Welcome back. It's still a little on the fritz, just so you know. You're kind of choppy.
It's bad.
Can you go and lay cable for
I don't know
Waco? Can you just
why
do it
it's so
yourself? You know, go dig cables all around the city. Is that okay?
I know. I told Todd we were going to go have to dig and put all the stuff in there, full like construction, get it redone. Because I still live in a place that when it rains,
That's what
we
I
have
was
bad
saying.
Wi-Fi.
Like, it might be hard to imagine for some people, like that still exists in the country. That when it rains, some places go on the fritz, right?
The whole world knows that that's a bad choice. We just haven't gotten the upgrade yet.
We were talking about how much we allow opinions to get in our heads because we listen to the feedback or advice from people who think that they want to tell us something about how we should be living, and that takes away from our self-care. That's what we had been talking about. So if you see some of these comments,
I feel like you're so right. I feel like so many people do. It's like when those of us that have had children, like when you're pregnant, every time you're pregnant, there's somebody that will say, give you all the tips, all the advice, all the parenting. And you're like, listen, I'm just here to get apple juice. You could just step out. It's that like that right now, where it's like there is lots of tips and advice, and it's like you have to ask questions. You know, ask questions.
that is the next But First Coffee shirt right
Look at
there.
you.
I just want apple juice. I just want some apple juice. Like, that's it.
I changed my name to Ugg. Jamie changed.
George, this is good. This is good, George. A listening colander.
Listen, I might have to go in the house.
Is it still down? I can hear
Let
you.
me
I can hear you.
see, just because of all.
I can. Oh, are we going on? I can hear you.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
and
can?
see you. Yes. You pulled your hair back now again into a ponytail.
Okay.
See, I watch everything you're doing. Are you getting? Oh,
I've had lots of hair fashion.
me too.
change.
Are you hearing from a lot of people who are offering unsolicited advice?
That makes perfect sense to me. I'm great with that.
A lot. I think a lot of people are like, they're like, you know, you'll be fine. You'll find your thing. I think the thing that's been the most interesting is so many people have said congratulations to me. That's been to me really interesting that so many people are like, oh my God, I'm happy for you. Like, what are you? You know, like,
Right.
oh, thank God, now you can do. And I'm like, what?
Right.
Why? What are you
Right.
talking about? Everybody's happy for me. They're like, finally, okay, this is what you need to do. That's what I'm getting. Like, you know, everyone's like, you know, you should be a consultant, or your voice matters. And I really have been really introspective anyway. It has been a little cathartic, but I have absolutely no idea. I think one of the things that are 50s versus when you're in your 30s and you have small children,
Mhm.
I told John and them, I said, worst case, I'll be homeless and we can DoorDash. And it's like, if that's the worst thing that could happen, you know,
Instacart,
you'll be fine.
holy
And
crap.
everybody's like, no, that's not good.
Let me tell you though, some of these people make a killing on Instacart. A killing. A killing. It's crazy. It's crazy how much money you can make. So just saying. I'm just saying. You froze. I don't know if you can hear me. Did I lose you? Did I lose you?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm glad you're still here. You froze on screen. But here you go. Yeah. Okay.
I can hear you.
All right. Just want to make sure I get. Thank you to our coffee sponsor.
I'm here. I know,
Thank you
it's
to our
horrible.
coffee sponsor today, Humoriso, self-serving. Thank you so much. Here at Evolve.
But yes, at our
Oh
other,
yeah. So how can people get the People Puzzler? Is that available yet, or is it not that mug?
no, because I'm probably going to change it like 13 times.
Why are you like this? I want to be
Look at Lorianne, shopping for others.
always.
Yes.
Look at this, Nicole. I wish that you were kidding, but I almost believe you. I'm going to just say I'm pretty sure I believe you as far as
Yes, I
Instacart is
believe.
concerned. I wonder, one of the things that I want to challenge people on and ask you about, because we talk about this a lot, but we don't do this. To be honest, I'm going to like out us on this thing. We talk a lot about getting together with friends, with others, and we mean it, and we have the best of intentions, and then we don't get away with and just have a trip where it's not about a conference or a development opportunity as far as like our discipline, but really feed the soul of being with people that you love and identify with. And yes, the context initially may have been because of work related things, but now it's kind of evolved. Why do you think we don't do it? Is it really because of time, or do you think it's risk? Why do you think we don't get together as much as we say, like, oh my gosh, we totally have to do that, and then we totally don't do that? Am I losing you? Did you catch that?
You know, I can't understand anything that you're saying.
Oh, and I said some really good things there. Darn it.
Oh, hold on a second. Because I can't hear you. Let me try to go. I'm gonna go
All right, take a walk. Take a walk.
inside my house and see if it makes a difference and change out my office. Sorry to be weird. Hopefully it'll be okay.
No, go.
Jamie, you can hop on and get my eye.
Oh, Jamie. Oh my gosh. So I'll ask everybody else. So I'll look in the chat. How often have you said to colleagues, we totally have to go away. We totally have to like have a little excursion. It would be so fun. It'd be great. And then you don't do it. Let me ask you, why don't you do it? Why don't you do it? Legitimately, is it time? Is it money at the expense of doing something else? Is it too many other responsibilities? And so there's never a good opportunity to break away. What are the reasons we don't take the time, because it is about self-care in those moments, to go away with a few people that you're like, these are my people? Why doesn't it happen for you? Throw that in the chat. Why? Think about the past couple of years. I'm certain many of you have said we should do this, and then you don't. It doesn't happen. Why? Why doesn't it happen? Okay, Steve Brown. We put unreasonable expectations on what might happen, but never does when we meet others. It's in our head and it causes us to pause, right? So you're like, oh shoot, if I go away with Steve, what will that mean? What will it look like? Now, specifically, I think Steve is a bad example because it is disturbing. And I think the thought of going away with Steve Brown. So Steve, you may not be the right example, but others, right? What? I see his face right now as I said that. But like, is it, am I going to be, people are like, oh, John, you're so funny. Am I supposed to be the life of the party every minute that we go away for 3 days, right? No, that's not reasonable. I'm putting that on myself. Nobody's asking that, but I'm putting it on myself. I love, Mark, what you said too. The urgent crowds out the important. Mark, I'm going to tell you something to you, buddy. Like, can you write a lot more about that? Because this, if some of you remember, and I have done this in coaching in years past, the tyranny of the urgent is absolutely something I encourage people to read. What is the difference between urgent and important? I have this conversation with organizations all the time, because everything's urgent, urgent. I'm like, listen, if you say everything is urgent, then nothing is. Then nothing is, because the standard can't be urgent if everything rises to the same level. It doesn't make sense, right? So love that, Mark. That is a great shout out. Dion said, it doesn't happen sometimes that you go away and do these things because maybe they aren't your people. When they are your people, everyone prioritizes and makes an effort. So here's the thing. If you are unintentionally telling people they're not your people because you never prioritize it, is that the message you mean to send? I think Dion is right. Awesome. Awesome point. Hey, you, I see you. You're back. Are you good? Can you hear us?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, it does. It's like,
It's the
I
same in the
guess I'm
house,
gonna
isn't
have
it?
to move.
All right. There,
Yeah, I
there
mean,
are
I'm just
three
gonna have to move to
houses.
Austin.
No, no,
John,
no.
get over.
Three houses for sale in my neighborhood, which is super unusual. We're only like 42 houses in this little gated community. Three are up for sale at the same time. Super unusual. Come. We can get Todd a job. We'll find him. We'll have him get something.
That would be.
That would be,
We'll see. Look, who wants to make an appearance. I would like say
oh
hello.
no, no, oh gosh. Dion's got it.
This Scoobs.
Dion wants you in Austin. Let's
You
go.
think so?
That's what Dion's saying. You and the Scoobmeister. Look at that nasty face. Look at the
Me and
just
Scooby
angry face that dog has. Just
stressed. Just such a stressed.
stressed,
Look at the little look.
stressed. Oh. First, look at. Oh my gosh. Puke.
I know. Precious.
No, wrong P
Oh,
word.
now she's sitting. Now she's really like, what's
Oh my gosh.
oh, she
Where's
wants to be a
look at
guest now.
Nicole, we think we'll always have time to do that until we don't. The times I get together with my HR friends are some of my most cherished experiences. It's really interesting that we don't do this enough. That we have the best of intentions and then we don't do it. You and I, this past year, I'll just use a big timeline. This past year, we almost lost a friend, and the idea of saying, why aren't we seeing each other more? Why aren't I? Because I want to take care of myself, and these are
Yeah.
people that help me to care for myself, who invest in me. And I keep saying, we got to do this, we got to do this, we got to do this, and then you almost lose someone in that crowd, and you think, we got to stop talking about it. It just has to happen.
Yeah. We'll be the spearhead. We'll spearhead it. We'll
have
call
to.
it. It will have a celebration of life. And it's all self-care. It's going to be all self-care for people in HR and people functions where
But
the
you might need to
learnings are
start
just going to
small.
be about.
But maybe start small.
Yeah,
I think
okay, puppy
some
yoga.
of it is no.
It starts
We
with
ain't doing
puppy
any
yoga.
puppy yoga. I'm not doing any puppy yoga.
So
You know how I am with that.
the little
I'm not
puppies.
doing anything. No puppies. No
I know.
puppies.
I know.
The reality is, in terms of taking care of one another, you may need to be the one who has to start it. Like you just said, we have to spearhead it. You just might need to be the one to say, hey, y'all, I'm so tired of the 4 or 5 of us talking about getting together. I'm going to start,
Right.
What are you doing on this date, or this date? Which one of these is going to work? And honestly, the first time you may have 5 people you
Right.
want to get together with, but only 3 can get together just because it's never working out with schedules. So then start with the 3, because it's care for you that
Right.
has to happen as well.
That's right. That's right. It's just too precious. I mean, like you said, we didn't know what was going to happen. The
Yeah.
Health
Health
Conference.
conference. Oh my gosh,
I
Jamie,
don't
stop
think
giving me.
we- and I've started, thinking more about how do I prioritize myself? What can
George.
we do? Oh, that's funny.
George, I mean, do you remember the big chill?
I haven't
I
seen
don't know
that in a
that.
long time.
I'm pretty sure there was some extramarital stuff going on there. But
You never
George,
seen it?
I'm like, I mean, buddy, if you're asking,
What's
I'm not saying no. I just, I want to know what the expectation is. Oh my gosh.
I feel like that's what you end up being able to do is understanding each other, being able to connect with each other. And I think it's nice. Some people that I haven't talked to in a really, really long time, it's nice, but I do think we need to check in and make suggestions. We talk about how we can help employees, but we don't talk about how we can help ourselves.
That's right. That's exactly right. I know you're still delayed, and I know you're a trooper. So we're going to end in a few minutes, just because it's really rough for you, and I don't
Okay.
want you to be stressed about this.
Yeah, it's bad. I feel bad. We need to
Don't
end
feel
early.
don't I, It's okay. You don't have to own that. It is not your responsibility of how the Wi-Fi is in Waco. That you don't have to own that. Let yourself be free from that. See
I'm
that good?
moving
Isn't
about.
that healthy? Isn't that good, healthy encouragement? I'm doing a great job. Tell me I'm doing
That
a
is
great
good.
job.
I like
Oh my
You're
gosh.
doing a great job.
Steve Brown doesn't care about the extramarital affair. He's just happy that we can create a playlist to go along with the whoring around.
Oh, what a great soundtrack.
Right, right. Oh, I cheated on my first wife to this song. The encouragement, I think, for us is, right. I know this is what I'm saying to you. He doesn't appreciate what he's saying. Um, it really is. It behooves you. Not that I'm saying any year is better than any other, but here we are. It's still the tail end of January in 2025. Like, get some things in place for your self-care. You are valuable. This is exactly what I get to talk about today at the Evolve conference. You are valuable. There is a reason that you're in the role that you're in. You have a contribution to make, but there's also a contribution to be made in you, and make sure that you are paying attention to that part just as much, just as
That's right.
much.
Because you're siloed. I like almost had a manifesto last week. It was before at the big day. But it was like, as broad as HR is, you're actually being siloed, and people will keep you in that space. It doesn't matter if you've been able, people talk about, oh, I started as a generalist and then I got to this and then I got to this, but you're still staying in that same lane. And it's easy to forget all of the things that are important to you that make you whole. And we are the only country that does this. Other countries make space for vacation to go spend time. They give them off. They're paid. They take care of their health care, all of the things. It's
Mm-hmm.
not perfect, but I mean, we're the only ones that do that. And so, we use the phrase, nobody's coming to save you. You have to be able to do it for yourself. And it's hard to even know what to advocate for when you can't even remember who you are.
Yes, yes,
Right?
yes, yes. And many of us, in the work that we do here in HR, TA, or development and design, you give so much. Honestly, if you've done it for a long time and you haven't asked the question about yourself, am I good? Doing that self check, I think you're right. Some of us have lost who we are.
Yeah.
And time just marches on. It's not like time is going to tap you on the shoulder and say, hey, it's been 4 years since you've really kind of done anything for yourself or thought about yourself in a healthy way. I mean, my executive producer constantly is on me, and she's right, and says, let pull up Bamboo, because that's the system. Pull up Bamboo. How many hours of vacation do you have? And I'm like, well, I'm the owner. It's different. She's like, I just want to see how many hours of vacation you have and how many you've not taken again. How many you've not taken again. And I'm like, you're right.
Damn, John.
But she's totally right. She knows I
That's
enjoy work, but she's right. I'm not mad at her until I'm
right.
mad at her. And I'm like, mind your business.
No, it's the same. I think I think Todd's the same. I
Yeah.
mean, he's been very patient in the last couple of weeks that I've been like taking my computer with me to bed. Because it is something that I find pleasure in, and he's like,
Instead of
know,
him, though, are you taking the
I was
computer to
like, I
bed?
promise I'm gonna like I do this other thing, do these other things, and he's like, please don't worry about it.
I mean,
Because I've been like all these things that I got to write down, and it's like, okay, I'm responsible, and I want to make sure that I'm fully present and I'm doing all the things. I just want.
but it's pressure. And there are also some things that are seasonal. Like you're in a season right now. And so I think that's temporary. But I think some of us, especially coming off of COVID, we may not realize we're still in the pandemic season. It's not, but here we're still operating as if we're in pandemic season. And that's not real. We've got to get out of that, right?
Yes.
You got to get out of that.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's time for us to go because Steve has let us know that he's leaving, and so therefore,
Yes.
That's
right. And we did our best.
You are a trooper. You are a trooper.
It's done.
I'm sorry that it was, suckalicious. Yes, I am. I'm wearing the Humoriso Touching Your Tech since 2012 T-shirt today before I share. So Jamie is all about it. He's on it today, Jamie. Look at him. Product placement.
He's on it today, dude. Give him a raise.
Hey, y'all, we love you. We really do want you to take care of yourselves. Take care of yourselves.
Yes.
You got your coffee, or did you leave that in the office?
Absolutely.
Do you have your coffee or no? Is it gone?
No, I'll do my phone. Oh wait, I do.
Clink. Bye, y'all. Have a great day.
Clink, clink.
Bye.
Bye. Yes.